We always start by tuning in what's going on in our body, our breath, our mind, what's happening in your system. And just the word self compassion probably got a few things moving in your mind or maybe in your body as well. Just going to sit with our breath for a moment. Notice the whole of your body. Take a couple of minutes before we go any farther to relax our body. And as you're doing that, be aware of that whole space that your body's in and what are the sensations in that space. And any sensation that's contracted or tight would be a good place to start with softening. So look for the large, kind of obvious places first. Maybe it's the back of your shoulders and neck. Let the whole back of your body soften. Notice the front of your body, your face, forehead and eyebrows, mouth and jaw, down through your throat and your chest, your stomach. And notice the arms and legs as well. When we're doing a resting practice, we don't need to be moving about or holding ourselves still either. We could be moving if we're restless. Sometimes it's good to get up and shake it out or move around a bit. Or we might stretch. We're not going to be scolded if we move our body. And that can be the first part of self compassion. How are we with our body? When we notice there's something tight in our body, what is our response to that? And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could just be that we notice and then we let it soften. We bring our attention there. And often we have beliefs and experiences with, when I think of the neck and shoulders, the upper back, I might just soften that area and notice, oh, they're a little bit up around my ears. I could let that go. Or I might think of the years and years when I had cement shoulders. I was always so tight and defended through my back, upper back. And then I might think of, well, why was I so defended and all of this stuff that was going on? So it's really easy to get into a chain of associations. And then we could come back and notice right now, as I'm putting my attention there, I notice it's starting to soften a bit. There's still some kind of energy. The muscles seem to be settling now. It's an example of one of the ways that it works. As we're exhaling and we're softening, we're paying attention. It might be quite still in the mind, or there might be thoughts and associations in the mind. And during a relaxation practice, we're really not paying much attention to the thoughts. When we get involved in thought, we're trying to bring our attention back and work more with the direct experience of what's happening in our body, our breath. And when we're doing an inquiry as well as a relaxation practice, then we're kind of interested in the thoughts in the mind. We want to know, what is it that's creating that tension in the back of the neck or in the jaw? Why do you clench your teeth? Most of us have such a held tightness in our body. And that's a response to fear and trauma. We would not have that tightness in our body if we didn't have a history of something that required that. When we come into a practice, it's a practice of releasing what's gotten wound up. We're unwinding. Notice again what's happening in the space that your body is occupying. What are the sensations? What's soft? What's tight? Where do you feel ease? Where is there constriction? And for a moment, let's go into the sensation, whatever sensation's catching your attention right now. And it might be something that feels pretty physical, like my teeth are clenched, my jaw's tight, and I can feel that soreness in my teeth from clenching them overnight, or I can feel that my gut is in a knot. And bring your attention right there. And we move in, and then we step back, and we move in. Dr. Levine talks about this as titrating. We want to know what's going on in our body, and we want to maintain our ground. We want to maintain the awareness that whatever the memories or the associated trauma is with this sensation or tension in the body, that right now in this moment, it's not a present moment threat. And so our job is to remain connected to this moment and to bring that into this moment by paying attention to the sensation, to the energy of that. Anytime that it's starting to feel too intense, you could move into one of the emergency breathing practices like box breathing or 478, or you could simply widen your focus, put a bit more space around it. Notice the space all around the sensation. That helps us to remind ourselves that right now in this moment, we're present, we're doing a practice, we're noticing what's here, and there's no threat right now. So, as you're staying with whatever it is that you're working with, notice your relationship with it. Are you willing to have this be here? Are you interested? Are you inviting or welcoming it? It's also very possible that there's a lot of resistance to it. It hurts, it feels overwhelming, we don't want to feel it. Notice what happens in your system. What's your response when you say to the energy or the sensation, when you say, "Thank you for being here. I want to know what's going on in my body and my body mind. And thank you for this opportunity. I get to sit with this and feel it. And maybe you could tell me more. Why are you here?" And notice your relationship to whatever it is that comes up. Are you patient, understanding? I mean, if there is a wholehearted welcoming and you're deep into just kind of resonating with that energy, then let my words move to the background. If there's any resistance to that, notice if you can be kind with yourself about that. I don't actually want to know. Or I do kind of in my head, I want to know, but when it comes right down to it, it feels too overwhelming. Or you might be impatient with yourself. The inner critic might be here. "Oh, come on. This isn't that hard. You're not a baby anymore." Notice if there's anything like that going on. Kind of distances ourselves, it alienates ourselves from ourselves. And really pay attention to your breath. Notice that you're in your body, in your room or the location you're in. Notice your breath and notice the stability that you have. You're an adult. You can notice your breath and notice your body. You can relax and stay present with yourself. And sometimes adults get overwhelmed, and sometimes adults don't want to pay attention. Our mind goes somewhere else, or we start thinking about a Netflix show we're going to watch later and whatever it might be. And this is how we are. And what's your relationship with that? Are you condemning? Are you contemptuous of yourself? You haven't got this figured out yet? That you're not fully present and relaxed and interested? And if there's any kind of harshness towards yourself, see if you could let that soften. We don't actually have to do this perfectly. We're just exploring. We're just looking to see what's here. Sometimes a real softening happens and we really are able to be present with ourselves in a kind way. And that might be 3%, it might be 70%, it might be 100%. And what we're coming back to today is, what is our relationship with that? What is our relationship with what we're doing, what we're able to open into, what we're not able to, what we're resisting? This person, ourselves, what messages are we giving ourselves about ourselves? And if there's messages of, you're something or other, you're not worthy, you're not doing this right, you're broken, you're something like that, see if you can work with those words, bring them up and do some tapping on your forehead. Just take your attention into the sound and sensation of the tapping. You could finish that with a butterfly hug, putting your arms on your shoulders, alternating tapping one side to the other. And coming back, take a few breaths, inhabit your body again, head to toes, the whole of your body. Take a few breaths as you let things settle. And again, notice what's happening. What are your thoughts? What's going on in your body? Are you tight somewhere? Are you able to stay focused on your relaxation and breathing? So we'll pull back for a moment again. Use a more open focus. Notice your whole body. Notice the sensations, the tight spots, the soft spots. Notice what's going on in your whole body. Notice as you breathe out, sometimes you can let that last little bit of tightness leave your body. You could settle. And review the experience that you've had in the last 20 minutes. Were there any surprises? Was your experience quite usual for yourself? Do you normally have a wandering mind and a lot of tightness in your body? Do you normally find that that softens when you do a practice? What was your experience as well with the thoughts that you were looking at? What was your relationship with your experience? And in particular, we're looking at, is there kindness and compassion there? So start for a couple of minutes. I'll be silent. Just looking at, what was your experience and what was your relationship to the experience? How were you relating to yourself? And notice that you could bring compassion to whatever your relationship is. If you are feeling very kindly towards yourself, then just stay with that kind compassion. If there was anything less than 100%, then cultivate that now. It doesn't mean anything in terms of I'm a good person, a bad person, I'm an adult, I'm childish, I'm this, I'm that. It's just whatever our relationship is. And then for right now, what we're working with is, can we have a kindly relationship with ourselves? If you want, you could bring your attention into your heart center. I'm willing to be kind with myself. And let yourself soak that in. I'm willing to be kind with myself. And let those be the only words in your mind right now. We're not interested in what the inner critic might have to say. We're not interested in evaluating, well, I am this much, I'm not. We're really tuning into this heartfelt intention. I'm willing to be kind with myself. Let yourself feel that intention, that willingness through the whole of your system, your body, your breath, your mind. I'm willing to be kind with myself. When you're ready, open your eyes.